For and against Unit 14, the title is Transistor radios should be prohibited in public places. So it's all about a kind of sound pollution or public nuisance.
Yeah.
Okay. So please.
We have all heard of the sort of person who drives 50 miles into the country, finds some perfectly delightful beauty spot beside a quiet lake, and then spends the rest of the day cleaning his car.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so we have all heard of the sort of person who drives 50 miles into the country. Country here means?
The country means out of the center of the city center. It means remote areas.
Remote areas, yes. Yeah, and natural surroundings, or rural places, as
Yeah.
opposed to urban. Find some
Yeah.
perfectly delightful beauty spots means?
Nice pictures, nice scene, nice. Let's say.
Picture? No.
Uh, mm, uh, Nice aspects of the nature, for example.
Mm-hmm. Yep. As a matter of fact, natural places. For example,
Yeah.
mountains and some national parks. Mm-hmm. Okay. So beside a quiet lake, and then spends the rest of the day cleaning his car. Okay, please.
Compared with those terrible fiends, and the litterbugs, and noisemakers, this innocent creature can only be an object of admiration.
Mm-hmm. So there is a comparison or analogy that is made between a person who cleans his car and also those who are even worse. That is fiends. Fiends here means?
Fiend refers to a person that actually does something a lot. For example, a television fiend is a person who actually watches the TV a lot, more than enough,
Mm-hmm.
excessively.
Yeah, fanatic people or maniacs. It means, as you said, they have radical ideas about things, and they go to the extreme level. The litter bugs, those who just throw away garbage or litter
Yeah.
carelessly, particularly from the windows of cars. You see, and the
Yeah.
noisemakers.
Yeah.
This innocent creature can only be an object of admiration.
He interferes with no one's pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Fa-
Interferes.
Interferes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interferes.
Mm-hmm. With no one's pleasure. Yes.
Far from it. After all, cleanliness is said to be next to godliness.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah, it means if you are organized, if you are clean, you tend to be a more moral person. Yeah, it
Yeah.
brings morality, or actually presents or yields or morality.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It is the noisemakers who invade the quietest corners of the earth that must surely win the prize for insensitivity. Insensitivity.
Yeah, insensitivity. Okay. It is noisemakers who invade or attack or trespass quietest corners of the earth that must surely win the prize for insensitivity. I think it is completely clear, so please continue.
And in this line, who is insensitive? The radio?
Let me see, to be more deep. Concerns of the earth that must surely win the prize for insensitivity. Yeah, it says that actually those people are so carefree or indifferent or insensitive to the let's say enjoyment of other people in public places. They don't care. They are not sensitive at all.
Yeah. They announced their arrival with a flourish that would put the royal heralds to shame.
hmm Yeah, they announced their arrival with a flourish that would
With
put the royal, yes, with a
a
flourish means.
confident,
Uh-huh.
in a confident way, for example.
Particularly by making a movement, a noticeable movement
Yeah.
that is eye-catching. And please.
Uh, and blaring music, never classical, seems to emanate mysteriously from their persons and their possessions.
Mhm. Okay, blaring music means
Noisy music,
punky and upbeat and noisy, as you said. Not classical, so it's clear that the author of this book actually is in favor of classical music. Seems to emanate mysteriously from their persons and their let me see, and their possessions. So emanate,
get out of something, for example, come out from something.
originate, yes. Yeah, very good. They to some extent reflect their personality, the attitudes or behaviors that they just have or show.
If you travel up the remotest reaches of the Amazon, surviving attacks by crocodiles and vicious piranha, do not be surprised if you hear cheering crowds and a football commentary shattering the peace of the jungle.
Okay, let me see. If you travel up the remotest reaches of the Amazon, surviving attacks by crocodiles and vicious piranha, I think it is piranha. It's a kind of fish with sharp teeth. Don't be surprised if you hear cheering crowds and the football commentary shattering the peace of the jungle. Vicious here means
Pugnacious,
pugnacious and wild and cruel, yes. Don't be surprised if you hear some
barbaric. Do we have? Yes.
Barbaric, you cannot use it for piranha, it's they cannot be barbaric because barbaric means so warlike and combative, and fighting, and it does not refer to that. It's not a good synonym for that. Shattering the peace of the jungle. Okay, please.
And shattering here means destroying the
Disturbing.
Okay.
Disturb is better, yes.
It is only one of our friends with his little transistor radio.
Continue.
The transistor radio, the great wonder of modern technology, often no bigger than a matchbox, must surely be the most hideous and diabolic of all human inventions.
It is only one of our friends with his little transistor radio. The transistor radio, that great wonder of modern technology. It's not a great wonder anymore, but anyway, often no bigger than a matchbox, must surely be the most hideous and diabolic of all human inventions. Yes, at that time, it was. So hideous,
extremely unpleasant.
unpleasant, yes, extremely unpleasant, and ugly, but here doesn't make sense. Ugly, unpleasant, disgusting and noisy. Okay, please.
People are arrested, fined, imprisoned, deported, certified as insane, or executed for being public nuisances.
Hmm. Yeah, people are arrested, fined, imprisoned, deported, certified as insane. Means insane.
Stupid and
Hmm.
ridiculous.
Crazy, and executed for being. Execute means here.
Being killed,
Hmm.
or
Liquidate. Do you remember? Yeah,
yeah, oh, okay.
being public nuisance. So please continue.
Sure. You cannot loiter outside the shop for 5 minutes and sing the opening bars of Figaro in public without arousing the suspicion of every policeman in the neighborhood.
Hmm. Okay. So mm, you cannot loiter outside a shop for 5 minutes or sing the opening bars of Figaro in public without arousing 5 minutes or the suspicion of every policeman in their neighborhood. So loiter means
Hanging around.
hmm
And
wandering and
yeah,
roaming,
yeah,
outside the shop. For example, window shopping. When you go window shopping, you don't have any specific plan to buy something. For
exactly.
5 minutes, or sing the opening bars of Figaro in public without arousing the neighborhood. So they become suspicious of you, and policemen, they become suspicious of you. If you happen to just loiter or fool around or hang around without any special plan. See?
Yeah, yeah. You can walk onto a beach or into a park and let all hell loose with your little transistor, and no one will turn a hair. No one
Hmm.
in authority that is.
Yes. But you can walk on to a beach or into a park and let all hell loose with your little transistor, and no one will turn a hair. No one in authority, that is. Turn a hair means.
Turn a hair means getting angry, huh? Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it means actually, as according to the previous sentence, they are not aroused, or their awareness is not aroused, and they don't become suspicious, or they don't even actually raise a stink. It means protest.
Yeah,
See?
yeah.
And your little transistor, and no one will turn a hair. You know.
Uh, Most of the people around you will be writhing in agony, but what can they do about it?
Mm-hmm. Yes, most of the people, ordinary people around you, will be writhing in agony. It means.
Writhe means when you twist towards
Mm-hmm.
yourself because
Mm-hmm.
you're suffering from a pain or any difficult situation. And
Right.
agony means a difficult experience.
Yeah, it means actually they are in pain, they are suffering, and people don't like that attitude. Uh,
Have Have you ever tried asking the surely owner of a transistor to turn it off? This is what will happen if you do. You will either be punched on the nose for your impertinence or completely ignored.
hmm. Okay. So, have you ever tried asking the surly? It's not surely. Surely, it is surly. It doesn't have
Oh,
e. It means bad-tempered.
oh,
Owner
okay.
of a transistor to turn it off. So this is what will happen if you do. You will either be punched on the nose for your impertinence or completely ignored. What will happen? So there are two possibilities. You will either be punched on the nose, so the person will punch you for impertinence means
Presumptuousness.
presumptuousness. hmm Yeah, it means disturbing and actually causing some problems or completely ignored. So you are just overlooked. Okay, please.
Sure. After that, you can be sure that the radio will be turned up louder than ever before.
And usually,
Noise is one of the most unpleasant features of modern life. Who knows
yes.
what it invisibly contributes to irritability, and stress.
Very good. Yeah. Noise is one of the most unpleasant features of modern life. Who knows what it invisibly contributes to irritability and stress. Agitation or irritability. Agitate is the verb form.
Governments everywhere go through tremendous length to reduce noise.
Continue, it's clear.
The only actually in this sentence, the only beautiful phrase that I found was "go to a tremendous length to do something."
Yeah, and it means
It means to do a lot of to tolerate lots of hardship and actually take a really difficult steps to do a hard work, challenging work.
Take necessary measures to do something. That's right.
Yeah. Traffic sounds are carefully measured in decibels. Levels of tolerance are recorded. Just recorded.
Yes, recorded. Yes.
And statistics produced to provide the basis for future legislation.
Yes. Traffic sounds are carefully measured in decibels. Levels of tolerance are recorded and statistics produced to provide the basis for future legislation. Legislation is the process of making laws and
elaborate and expensive tests are conducted to find out our reactions to supersonic bangs. Supersonic bangs.
Yes. So they just want to make sure if people are tolerant of them or not, and if they show tolerance, they do not take immediate actions actually to control it. You see?
This is all very commendable, but surely you're supposed to.
Yes, this is surely because it has E.
Okay. Yeah. Surely the interest in our welfare is misplaced.
Yes, let me see. This is all very commendable means?
Deserving praise.
Praiseworthy, yes.
Yeah.
But surely the interest in our welfare is misplaced. So could you interpret this sentence, these two sentences, or sentence? What does it refer to?
I think it is. The sentence is saying that it is respectful that, for example, such tests have been conducted by some researchers in order to find out about the reaction of people in front of supersonic bangs, but it is not the main. It doesn't support our welfare. And our welfare is more important than those tests.
Right. At first, actually, as you said, it appreciates all the efforts that have been made to just administer those tests, but instead of those efforts actually being made, we were supposed to focus on something else and actually not create the let's say necessities of those sound sources or sources of sound pollution. You see,
Yeah.
that is the, and you interpreted it correctly. Okay, please.
And people adjusted to the more obvious sources of noise ages ago. It is the less obvious sources that need attention.
Mm-hmm. Yes, people adjusted to the more obvious sources of noise ages ago, so long ago. So it is the less obvious sources that need attention. Okay, it's clear. Continue.
And the transistor radio is foremost among them. It is impossible to adjust to the transistor radio because the noise it produces is never the same. It can be anything from a brass band to a news commentary. Commentary.
Yes. So yeah, because transistor radio is a radio, but in a let's say small scale, so it can just produce any kind of noise that you can even imagine.
Yeah.
So it could be a brass music, music that is let's say made or produced with some brass made instruments such as trumpet, and also anything, even actually some negotiation on football matches and so on and so forth. So please.
Being inconsiderate is not a crime, but interfering with other people's pleasure certainly should be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it means that if you just do something or actually commit some crimes, minor crimes, but you were not you did not have a direct intention, so you cannot be just reprehensible. But if you try to, maybe intentionally or mindfully, to just annoy other people in public places, so you should be even sued.
It is ridiculous that the law should go on allowing this indecent assaults on our ears.
Mm-hmm. It is ridiculous that the law should go on allowing this indecent assault on our ears. So, this indecent assault on our ears. So, the law should not just give a carte blanche with complete freedom. Carte blanche means complete freedom. To the
Carte blanche, yeah.
Yeah, it's French, but it exists in English too. Carte blanche means, let's say, green card. The lawmakers or the establishment or the authorities should not give them this carte blanche, actually, so that they can do anything. For example, as long as they have a transistor radio, or when, for example, I hear somebody making so much noise, because of the fact that I always just carry my headphones and MP3, I try to listen to some music or listen to some audiobooks, instead of just actually becoming or going bananas and say, what are you doing? Turn it down. And instead of that argument, I try to do something that neutralizes the effect. I always just carry headphones. It is so important in my idea.